Hey everyone, welcome to Dude Soup today. James, do you have somewhere to be?
No, sorry, I
Checking
didn't
your
realize
watch?
we started. I was checking my watch. I didn't know what time it was. So.
Today we're talking about all the great games that we're playing right now, and also getting into a few Halloween horror recommendations. Welcome to Dude Soup.
You gotta go. Welcome to Dude Soup.
Welcome.
Welcome to Dude Soup.
Welcome to hell.
No, we'll get to you later, John.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Dude Soup. Funhaus fans, long-time, short-time viewers. I'm Elise.
I'm James.
And something briefly we wanted to talk about before we get into the show is that you're going to see some changes happening at the Funhaus channel in the near and upcoming future because Adam is no longer working with us, and we won't be delving into the details of that. Look it up online if you want to know. There are people who were respecting their privacy, and lots of people are affected in this, so we're not going to be discussing it.
Yeah. You may have noticed already that there's been some uploads that haven't been going off, and basically as a result of everything, we decided as a team to take some time away to kind of process everything and figure out how to proceed and do everything like that. So that did cause, some ripples in our production, and things kind of got slipped. And so you're probably going to see over the next, couple weeks or maybe even months, the effects of kind of that, which are going to be things changing, and we're going to be trying new things, and you're going to see things. It's not going to be the status quo, but that's just how it is. So, But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, the team is working together.
Everyone's working really hard and busting their butts to keep making really cool stuff to keep entertaining you guys and make sure everything is fun and exciting and really cool. So I'm really proud of everyone, and I can't wait to see what's in store. So.
Agreed. Well, thank you, James.
Wrap
You're
it
welcome.
up.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Have a good show.
All right.
Wrap it up, guys.
We paid him for that?
It's not just the James and Elise show today, because we're also joined by John Smith on the keys.
Hello,
so tiny. He's
and
so tiny,
welcome
John
to
Smith.
hell.
Something a little bit different today. John's going to be playing Hades while we're chatting, and then Alanah will be pointing at John's screen while he's playing Hades while we're chatting. But yeah, we're just doing something a bit casual and kind of harkens back to Dude Soups of yore.
This is how we used to do it. You chill and play a game and just
Yeah.
kind of fun conversation where there were no diner chairs that threw your back out, and there was no big orange couch.
Need
There
a
was
stronger back, I guess.
Yeah.
But
John,
John,
by
question.
the boon, John? By the boon?
Yeah,
You
Fast
gotta buy
Guy
the
or
bag. Gotta buy
Archimedes?
That's Athena, but by Athena.
I'm on
Yep.
it.
You get hit. Hermes will
Oops.
come back later. You're
No,
guaranteed.
I was standing. What?
You bought Hermes.
Give me the other one.
Anyway, so this is going to be old, and everyone is just complain about this. I hate when they talk about the game because I'm listening to it on my, can't understand it. So,
but we're talking about other stuff
bad.
too.
We're
And the
talking about
reason
other
I
stuff.
chose Hades was because everyone on our team is pretty into it, and so I thought this would be a good way to talk about it as well. So for audio listeners, especially that don't know what this game is, do you guys want to describe Hades?
I can't.
roguelite.
Yeah, it's a rogue. What is it? Technically a roguelite.
Roguelite.
Right? It's a roguelite
Yeah.
because you can finish it, right?
And you
That's
make
the difference.
progress every time you die. Whereas
Yeah.
a rogue
Like-
is where you reset to 0 every time you die.
Which just as me, a 36-year-old man, sounds like just the worst punishment in the world. Like that's purgatory. I'd rather just end it all than have to lose my progress every single time. But I have been playing a lot of Hades, and I love it. Love it.
Yeah, me too.
So
It's real good.
it's
It's
real
very
good.
sexy.
It's, oh my god, it's so sexy.
I mean, the art's amazing.
Yeah, but it's sexy too. Like, because you can draw something that's nice, a beautiful image of a bridge, but it's not sexy.
Yeah.
No,
I hate it.
it's
This is
sexy.
Wait,
all.
but why is it sexy? Why is this game sexy?
Well, wait until he finds
Oh.
anyone, like any character, whenever they talk, every single god, because the game's the premise. I'll just jump in with the premise. You play as
By the way, if
Zagreus.
anyone, for the audio listeners, if you hear me go or scream or anything, that's because I'm doing really well in the game.
Well, you got hit by a lot of bombs, lost a lot of health in this mini boss room. But you play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, who is the god of the underworld, the Greek god of the underworld, and you are trying to escape to try and find your mother. But unfortunately, because of the way gods and stuff works, you're confined to the underworld. So everyone's trying to keep you down there, and your dad's trying to keep you down there. But you're meeting all kinds of gods.
Dads.
The Olympians are escorting you, or giving you power ups because those types of gods always love to interfere and rabble rouse and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's the basic premise is trying to get to the surface.
Gotcha.
To try and get to the surface.
Alanah and
And all the
John,
gods are hot.
anything that you would disagree with in James's description or add?
Yeah, I think this game sucks.
Yeah, right.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
playing
big
it.
fan.
To show how stupid it is.
It's a little bit too button mashy for me is my only thing. But they also have a god mode setting, so they have some minor accessibility settings, which is cool. But it rules. Great music, and Supergiant consistently make incredible games. So
Oh, I didn't know this was Supergiant.
Oh yeah, and some of the best voice acting in a game this year, at least. I mean, I guess the game's technically from last year, but it had some amazing voice acting in this game.
Oh, yeah. Just great art
I had that when it
direction,
came out
great
again. I was
voice
like, why is
acting.
everyone talking about it now? It came out a year ago, and I realized it was just early access. I was like,
Yeah, because I had played it early access, and it only had the three biomes or whatever, and they were still adding new gods. I think like Hermes was a new god that they had just added. But now it's a full game.
Hermes.
It's a full game that you can play that is totally deserving of your money.
Now, the way that James is talking, we're not in the pocket of big Hades.
I wish I was. I wish I was.
Look, just all hot.
Everybody's
hot. It's great.
That's the big meme talk I've been seeing online. Is everyone gushing over?
They're all hot. They're all sexy.
They are all hot. Yeah,
They're
it's
all
wonderful.
sexy. So, I mean, what else could you ask for in a game?
Just
And-
like us.
It has dating aspects as well, right? I don't think I've interacted with any of that.
You can give them gifts of ambrosia, which will make the gods like you. But there isn't too much dating. There's a little sexual tension between Zagreus and Thanatos for sure. But
I may have been lied to then. Someone implied to me that there was like an actual relationship system, like a persona, and I was like, is there? When
Well, I've
is
written a
that?
lot of fanfics about that. That's what you're thinking.
yeah,
That's what I was doing. My bad. Sorry.
you're reading John's fanfic.
Do any of
Oops.
you know how accurate it is in terms of mythology? Or
It's historically accurate, yes.
or how true
This all
it is
happened.
to mythological texts?
I don't think someone will probably leap down my throat, but I'm pretty sure Zagreus is an original character for this game. But the rest of them, it has the whole pantheon of the Olympians and stuff, and then there's stuff like this where they ascribe personalities to other mythological characters. So, like right now, John is fighting one of the Furies. You're familiar with the Furies of Greek mythology. This just happens to be one whose name is Meg, and she, she's
Also hot.
Yeah, also hot and burdened with having to go after Zagreus and keep him from escaping because her boss is Hades and stuff. So she's pretty miserable because of it.
Oh, John's doing well.
He's doing.
I'm doing
Doing
well,
those are the
everyone.
success noises.
One of his doing well exclamations that we just
Yes.
heard right now.
Very proud of you.
So I haven't played this game, but I hear it spoken about a lot, and it always feels very abstract to me because the way it's described is in terms of runs.
Yeah.
And I don't know what anyone's talking about.
Diarrhea.
Well, again, because
Okay, never mind. I
yeah.
understand.
The thing is, once you get to the surface, Zagreus shits himself.
Oh, I see.
And no, I mean, because the whole game is trying to escape the underworld, and everything's trying to keep you in the underworld. So you die over and over again, and so you're trying to escape, and then you get almost to the end, and then you die because the game gets significantly harder the further away from the underworld you get, and then you respawn back at the beginning. So each one counts as a run. But every single time, the best thing about it is, like John was saying, you don't lose your progress. Every single run then unlocks new things, so you can talk to a whole cast of characters that live down in Hades's kingdom and stuff, and Tartarus. There's all kinds of people you discover along the way, and so every run you're checking on them.
I see.
It's like when you die in hell, you just kind of go back to the start of hell.
Yeah, exactly. I beat it on my 20. I think it was my 23rd run. Was the first time I managed to escape the underworld.
Wow.
Cool.
But then the game opens up again, and then you find out, oh, there's still so much more to do. So, but that's Hades in a nutshell.
That's a cool approach. I wonder, is that average? You beating
22?
Yeah.
All I know is that Andy
No
Cortez
idea.
says it took him like 30 something,
And he's a real gamer.
and he's a real,
He's a real
gamer.
He's a professional gamer.
He's also
Yeah.
a goofball, so who knows how many of those runs were goof runs.
Yeah, he's also a big dumb idiot. So, good question. I think
Well, those are
I
your
know
words.
somebody beat it in 16. yeah,
Yeah.
I think he'd agree.
But yeah, so I don't know what the average is. Oh, there's an urn down there that you can break to get gold.
Where?
Right down there, it's shiny. To the right. Sorry, audio listeners. I'm describing a golden shiny thing that has coins in it that he can use to buy stuff later on. But yeah, so there's stuff every single run. You're getting like boons from gods, which power up your abilities and power up your weapons and stuff like that. But all of that is temporary. As soon as you die, you lose everything. You reset back to 0, with the exception of your what are they?
All the
Dark-
items you pick up.
Well, there's keys which can unlock different power-ups that you can feed a dark energy into to get stronger, and then there's other items that you can use to permanently raise your stats, so that way the next time you do it, you're more likely to win. So it isn't like just purely based on your skill. You're not just purely getting better at the game and hoping that this will be the run. Every time you do a run, you come back with some sort of resources that will help you get further along the next time, hopefully. But it's still very tough. It's a very difficult game.
Very fast.
Yeah, it's very fast. But yeah.
What have you been playing, Elise?
Well, I guess we're going to talk about that
Oh,
after.
sorry.
No. I'm saying that's a great segue, John, because we're going to talk about that now and next. Some of the games that I've been playing lately have been, well, one with you guys or stuff that you guys have also been playing too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also, the big Twitch hotness, or kind of the games that everybody's into right now. I feel so bad for Fall Guys because
Oh, yeah.
it had a big moment
Have
there.
we checked the player count? Is it?
Probably still really good.
I mean, because we're basing this on like Twitch enthusiasm, which is an indicator, but not the only indicator of player base.
Sure.
So is it the kind of thing where everyone has just officially stopped playing Fall Guys, or are we just not seeing it in our circles as much anymore? Because I could still see
That could be the case.
I mean, Fortnite is like one of those things where if you had asked me, is Fortnite still popular? I would say no, until you Google it and you realize, no, it's just as popular as ever. Or,
It has
you know.
very dramatically fallen off on Twitch.
oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things is that Among Us is free. So there might not be a lot of like overlap. Maybe a lot of people that bought Fall Guys are still playing Fall Guys, whereas anyone can just download it to their phone and start playing Among Us immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Among Us is such a
Among
Cinderella
Us is a game
story.
for non-gamers.
Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Among Us
How
is
dare
like,
you?
well, if you think about it, like push the button in the Jackbox pack where you're essentially sort of playing a similar thing. It's like a werewolf-esque, who is the secret alien. That's more of like a party game.
Yeah.
Like it's very much a party game.
We played Unfortunate Spacemen
We
Yes.
did, yeah.
with
Yeah.
a big group of people like right before Among Us came out, and that is a very similar kind of game.
Yep.
That just came out at that point in time. Also, set in space vibes. But Among Us is 2 years old and just took off like right after that came out. It's like such an odd arrival that everyone knows what it is now. I hadn't heard of it before this year.
Mm-hmm.
I
it's
remember like
huge.
just digging through Steam, always looking for games, and seeing Among Us, and then seeing it had like very few reviews and not.
And you went,
couldn't-
this is never going to be popular.
Oh no!
Ass.
Mark my words. No, I just couldn't really wrap my head exactly around what it was too. But whenever I was looking for multiplayer games, it would always be there. And then I I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for those developers when this game started taking off.
Yeah.
And just seeing their reaction, because I love stuff like that, and I would have loved to have seen just how happy they would have been.
It really is great. Like, I used to see it because I would search for like board game adaptations and stuff on Steam, and this would always be one of those like, if you like whatever, you know, any of these other games that are, because, you know, like we said, Unfortunate Spaceman is essentially a more complex version of this same game, right? And I think the simplicity is what's winning so many people over. But yeah, it is one of those things where it just takes the most simple party game like mentality, but it makes it accessible to anyone. And plus the quarantine, I'm genuinely curious if we're still going to see this trend of big game of the month or whatever after we can go back to our normal lives. Because I feel like everyone is kind of gathered on the same routine. And
I think that's probably because the only real culture we have right now is online. The only way to really like have a games culture community has to be on the internet. So you're not getting word of mouth. It's like very much, what are people on Twitter talking about? That's the only real way to be involved other than just looking at new releases.
Yeah, and my local arcade is closed.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Among Us would have hit as big had it not been for quarantine?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean,
Then it would have already, right?
I feel like it would have. Yeah, I think something happened where people are like, oh, we want to play games together and we want to watch games together.
With our big group where we talk to each other.
Didn't it blow up because Soda Poppin' just randomly decided to play it? I thought that was the case. Was that a big streamer just picked it up and then it blew up?
Could be.
Then that's entirely possible. But
I don't remember where I heard that.
I still feel like there's something other requirement. There's some other requirement. Like, you can have these things where big streamers play it, but there still requires another X factor of something.
Yeah.
To really create the perfect storm for something like that to happen. And
I feel like it being free on a phone is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Fortnite blew up too.
Yeah, I think Alanah mentioned that earlier, that like everybody has access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
in Japan, in China, mobile games, they have like legit mobile games. For some reason, they don't fly over here, but like Genshin Impact is a mobile game. You can play it fully on your phone. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why. Is it like, is it because our public transport systems aren't as efficient and thus...
Probably, yeah.
You know, like it could be something as simple as that, where obviously in Japan, everyone uses the trains for everything.
And they probably have like USB plugs all over the trains and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, do you think maybe it has to do with how a place like Japan has adopted their mobile technology differently? Like with iPhones being less of the standard here, like maybe so much of the Western world has adopted one ecosystem, and so if the thing doesn't mesh with that one ecosystem, then it isn't going to break out as well. But in Japan, since they have a bunch of, you know, I feel like in Japan the phone world is a little bit different.
Is it?
I don't think iPhones are as popular there as they are here, where it's like basically you have an iPhone or an other phone.
This is the first time hearing of this.
I don't know
I
that
feel like that's probably right, because I mean Apple's an American company and they probably just use Japanese brands. I don't know, but let's see how many people in Japan use iPhones.
3.
While you're looking up that
They're
up,
all
how do you
nerds.
guys how do you guys feel about the game of the month kind of world that we're living in?
I feel bad for whichever game gets displaced. Like I was saying with Fall Guys, I love the Cinderella story of Among Us, and it's always great when you get on the same page with your friends and everyone's into that one game, so you can actually play it together.
I got stats.
Okay.
Oh, hit us with the stats.
It's the opposite of what we expected. The number of iPhone users in Japan is 66.2%. Whereas globally it's 30%. So iPhone is more popular in Japan.
Okay. All right. Well, then.
Embarrassing.
I don't believe
I
you.
honestly don't really care. So
The good news is it didn't stake my entire personality on this talking point, so
yeah,
good stuff. But yeah,
I
it
will
seems
die
like
on this hill.
Japan was just using basically like communication protocols earlier, and that like they had 2G rolled out faster than other people did, so they had a head start on the mobile gaming market. Is supposedly what it seems to be.
Oh.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And maybe if they're all in the same ecosystem, they can all play the same mobile games
I
together.
think probably the work culture is also part of it. Like, you know, not that many people necessarily sitting at home PC gaming all the time. I don't know if
And
that's
space, maybe?
Yeah.
You're less likely to have the
Yeah.
space to put an Xbox One Series X or whatever, because you're like, that's
Yeah.
where I need a shit.
That thing's real big. Real chunky.
We're going to get to the bottom of this issue, but first, a word from our sponsor. Every day, there's some new news story about how technology is permeating, creeping into our private lives. You know, hey Siri, here's my social security number, that kind of stuff. You know, private conversations, all that is getting listened to and available to countless human reviewers. It's not just Apple, it's Facebook, Google, Amazon. Everyone's under fire for this. I don't know about you, but I don't like the thought of someone sitting in an office listening in on me. There's a guy right there. That is. Anyway, that's why I use ExpressVPN to secure all my devices. It encrypts and anonymizes all of your data to keep it hidden from outside snoops. ExpressVPN is so easy to use. You just fire up the app, tap one button, and you're protected. You can go online and search ExpressVPN. It's the #1 rated VPN provider on the market. So trust us, you probably won't find better. Take action and protect yourself like we did with ExpressVPN. And you can use our special link, expressvpn.com/dude right now, and claim an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. So support the show and protect yourself in doing so. We appreciate it and appreciate you. That's expressvpn.com/dude for 3 extra free months for free.
Get over
Thank
here, you
sponsor.
nerd.
Oh, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to this friggin' Hydra head.
Very nerdy. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm just looking at mobile gaming statistics for Japan, being like, why has this happened? Fascinating.
When you were in Japan,
Yes.
did you notice anything in terms of how people were using their cell phones?
So one really cool thing about the timing was we went during a period of time where Pokemon Go had, I believe, Moltres active for the first time. Mm-hmm. So every single raid would be full of people who were like standing around playing Pokemon Go together, and we would also meet people who recognized we were playing Pokemon Go and would ask us for American-only Pokemon. I believe Tauros is one of them, so they would try to trade with you. So like before we left, I think it was Blaine's idea actually, we all just caught a bunch of Tauros to take over to give to Japanese people who would then trade us Japanese Pokemon, which
That's cool.
That's
Yeah, it
so
was
sweet.
huge, and it meant
Yeah.
you could talk to people all the time because everyone was playing Pokemon Go. It was super fun. Just there was no gym or raid or anything that didn't have people, which happens all the time here. But over there, it was like everyone all the time. It was
Nice.
very cool. So definitely noticed that. And I feel like the thing on trains is like a lot of the time they were so packed with people that I don't know how you even hold a phone, but that depends on the
Yeah.
time of day, I suppose. There's a lot of people though, but yeah, definitely like people walking around constantly playing Pokemon Go way more than they are in the US for sure, which was cool.
Yeah.
Make new friends.
Now they're playing Among Us. Screaming, not able to trust the person who's sitting in the cabin right next to him on the train.
I would
I
like
really-
to try play it with strangers and see how the text function actually works.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know.
I've never done it.
Yeah,
I really
interesting.
enjoy when we all play together.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But then we
Yeah.
all do have, like, I feel like preconceived biases. Like, I always accuse James, and it's usually right, though.
Yeah.
Not in Among Us. Not in
luck.
Among Us. I feel like in all the times we've played, I've probably only been the imposter like 3 times. There are way more. John Holland has been the imposter more times than I have
Yeah,
been the imposter.
true.
I think Among Us is really fun. I think we talked about it, but I think part of the reason it's so good is because it's so accessible. Like, it is really designed to just kind of be fun or whatever. But I've been playing those deception games for so long, like starting with Resistance and even before then when we would just play
Werewolves and stuff.
Werewolves or whatever. I still think Secret Hitler is the best version of it because in my opinion, you want the game, you want it to be hidden. you want it to be hard to suss out, and you want it to create unnecessary conflicts. And Secret Hitler's so good because there's so many variable factors where something gets, it could be the chancellor who's mixing things up. It could be the president who, you never know where the things are coming from that they're going to basically like suck you in. And I've seen old friends like nearly leap across the table and like end their friendship playing Secret Hitler, and something about that is so magical to me. Among Us is way more fun because I think the casual side
It's
of it.
sillier too.
You're not going to be like, you're dead to me after that. I mean, there will be some occasionally you're dead to me, but for the most part, it happens so quick and you're in and you're out of the game that it's not like, it's not going to end friendships.
No, and the fact that you can be killed and still be an active participant is something that I really love in games. We played in Silence the other day, which is a bit of a Dead by Daylight clone, and when you get killed, you become a mouse. And you get access to the mini map, so you can still run around as a mouse, and you can help guide if the other players that are still alive see you, you could be like, "Come with me.
Well,
I'll take you to the barn."
The game is also based on sound, so it's hard for the monster to see when there isn't sound, and so the mice can squeak. Which will cause little dings to pop up on the map to help keep their little friends invisible.
Another game that, especially given the time of year, has hit big is Phasmophobia. Which is a lot of fun. Ghost hunting game.
Oh, yeah.
So I've put like a fair amount of time into it now, and that game, I don't know what happened, if it was an update or if it was because I leveled up, got way harder. Okay. I'm at a point now where, so my friends and I were playing the other night, and we were in the house for like maybe 15 minutes, and literally nothing had happened. Just nothing. So we were like, okay, so we have to figure out a way to lure out this ghost. We got to do something. So let's like go through the book and look at all the different ghost types and see what things we don't think we've done that might trigger this ghost. So we ended up being like, okay, let's like get a tripod and a camera and set up a video camera, and then 3 of us will go back to the truck and look at the camera, turn all the lights off, shut the door, and you just stand here with the book out and see if they're right in the book when you're alone. So we were like going through all of these things to like figure it out, and it ended up being the ghost type was mare, which is a type that only shows up if it's completely pitch black.
Oh, so I thought it was a horse.
Well, it might have been. I think it looked just like a creepy woman, but it was like very fun to like have to go through all those things and have different ghost types, because I feel like when I first played, I just got demons pretty much all the time, or I think the other one's just called a spirit. But then there was like another type where we were in a school, and I kept having whispering in my ear. I kept having this thing. It was like just like randomly out of nowhere, and I'd be like, "Oh my god!" And no one else was hearing it. We were like, "How are none of you experiencing this terrifying thing that I keep experiencing?" And it's because the ghost type was a type that would only interact with one person at a time.
Oh,
so
interesting.
When I first started playing, I didn't have any of that stuff. It was just like, it's probably this type because you wrote in the thing or whatever, and then it got harder, and we had to like actually figure out either A, how to lure them out, a lot of the time requiring being alone, or like turning all the lights off or whatever else, and B, actually looking through those pages to be like, no, this is which piece of the puzzle is this? So it actually like evolved in a way that I don't know how it got way harder versus the first couple of times that I played it, but I really like it now. Like the puzzle of it is way more in depth than I first realized.
Good job, John. Is the school level, is that like a level that you eventually unlock? Because I've only played it where I've been in the house.
Yeah, same. I think that barn. Maybe, like, because I'm not sure.
Cabin.
Yeah, I've unlocked a school and like a few more open areas than just houses. Like there's a double-story house, and then there's a single-story house that I had a new one in as well. So I think I hit like level 4, and I guess I'm not sure if it's an update or things just opened up, but it definitely seemed to get bigger. The school's awful because it's huge and so dark. It's terrible. It's so big.
So I was just thinking, like, the fact that you can get even more separated.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the strategic separation is a one that is really interesting, because I'm a big old scaredy cat where video games are concerned, and then, like, having to be like, okay, let's try to isolate you and just set up a camera so we can see what happens, or, like, hear out. And it was, like, a matter of, with one of them, I was seeing the ghost through the video camera in the truck, but the person in the room didn't know the ghost was there, and I guess it was whatever the shy type of ghost is. So I was like, okay, she's in this section, because we needed a photo of it for points. And I was like, it was to my friend Jess, I was like, just take a photo and then bail, and I will like tell you if she's walking towards you or away from you. It was like me like managing my friend in the same room as a ghost. I don't know. It just got really, way more in depth than I initially realized. I'm now very into it.
That was like when James was in the truck, and I had the camera, and I placed it on the counter and then made him watch me take a dump.
Yeah.
Just like that, yeah.
It's basically that.
Same thing.
That's really cool. Yeah, that game has made me, Elise and I have so many things that are shitty about our setup of having to be back-to-back in terms of audio recording and even stuff like this where it's like, you know, we have to crowd into one computer to be able to do certain recordings and stuff like that. Not being able to play Phasmophobia in like the way it should be played, where you're isolated except for the radio, is like one of the.
It's a crime.
It is a crime. It is a crime, and someone should definitely be arrested because of it.
No, it's still great. I still enjoy it a lot.
It's fun even despite that, which is like a testament to how great it is.
I love, if I'm going to be playing something that's multiplayer, I love cooperative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, really like that that's an aspect. I also like that it's not asymmetrical, which I like the asymmetrical stuff, but I never want to be the person that is playing the villain, and I always feel bad for the other people, unless they get some sadistic joy out of it. I feel bad being like, can you, other person, please do this because I don't want to. But
villain sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, and I get scared when I am, even though I'm the threat. I just because I'm alone, I start to get like, I don't want to be the one that's alone. I don't like it.
It's adorable.
Like I'm the monster.
Well, we've talked about it before, but there was this before Achievement Hunter. There was an MTV show where they basically, it was like a reality show, and they would take a group and they put them in a scary location. They'd give them a bunch of challenges. And it was great. And I remember, again, before Achievement Hunter being like, we should steal this idea. But a lot of the challenges were very simple. Like, it would be in an abandoned prison. And so they would tell you a horror story about the abandoned prison, and then you'd have challenges. But like one of the challenges was just like straight up, go to this point on your GPS. It'll be a room that has a chair in it, like a lone chair. And then it'll be like, sit in the chair, and then we're going to turn off the radio for 90 minutes in the dark. So you sit there in the dark for 90 minutes. If you turn the radio back on again, you cost your team points and stuff for that.
Yikes.
And then it's like a slow limit. Like, people will eventually be like, I can't do it. And then whoever is remaining will get the full bulk sum of money or whatever that they've earned during the course of the night. But like, that stuff was so cool. Just the anticipation of fear is like such a cool thing. And games that feel like they don't need to overstimulate you, like that really just trust the ambiance of the game, is like really hard to come by and really impressive. And I think it's interesting too that we're getting these stuff from these small devs, these small indie devs, because they're just focused on what is the game.
What's unique about it?
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say that's the issue with larger studios, is that they're not the ones making the calls. It's the publishers and the people that own them saying, this is what works. I mean, this is me guessing. I don't know this. But, I mean, I feel like that's why every game has, like, a Witcher tracking system in an open world where you have to climb a tower to unlock the map. And all that stuff is because they're like, this works, put this in your game. And so they're kind of limited to what they actually can, focus on in the game.
Well, but even concept games, like high concept games like, say, Evolve. I've been thinking about Evolve a lot lately because, like, Evolve had a great premise, which was this asymmetrical system of one person plays the baddie and another person and the other team work together to stop the baddie. But it's just interesting that it didn't catch on because it felt like there was too much. They put too much into it.
The first time I played that game, I loved it. It was at an event, and it was like one of my favorite at event video game experiences ever. And I was like, this is incredible. I adore it. And then I just lost interest, and I guess everyone else did too. I mean, they certainly put a lot into that game, but for me, I think it was the that game type just gets repetitive really fast for some reason. I guess.
But then you have something like Dead by Daylight, which is just stood the test of time because I think maybe it's a more pure gaming experience. Like
Evolve felt like it wasn't maybe as accessible.
there was like phases to things, and like you had the monster spend so much time going around eating berries or whatever,
Yeah.
like, or eating corpses and stuff. Because they were trying to like flesh it out, like really build out this big game, as opposed to just going one person plays as a monster, the other plays as a team, and they have to fight it out.
So I've actually never played Dead by Daylight, but I also get the impression that it is more horror, whereas Evolve it was more action.
It is,
And I think that
yeah.
maybe like
Yes.
the appeal of horror games lasts forever. In a game like Friday the 13th, I always really, really enjoyed as well for the same reason that Evolve being an action game. I'm like, I feel like I can get this, like you said, same wave-based experience, but just completely co-op with enemy AI that is a little more interesting and doesn't run away to eat berries or whatever. So I think maybe the horror element of asymmetric games is the thing that makes them work a bit better.
For sure.
Real quick, John, you
Yes.
are about to fight Theseus and Asterius. Have you
Correct.
fought them before?
I've fought them before. I've never beat them.
Okay.
So
Focus.
if everyone can
Focus
stop talking
Asterius.
for the next
Got
10
it.
minutes.
Yes. Yes. Perfect
Focus.
content.
Focus Asterius, because
Hey.
all Theseus will do will just throw his spear at you from a distance. So you just focus him, hide behind the pillars, and then once Asterius is done, then you can focus Theseus. Good luck.
I'm
Literally
gonna
a
do
bull.
the exact opposite of that.
Still
Great.
hot. Still
Great.
hot.
Cool. Oh yeah,
Nice
the bull's.
pickaxe.
Well, I mean, we know the story of the bull, right? Mm-hmm. Is that there was an actual bull that was so flippin' hot that a woman had to bang it.
Whoa,
So she had
really?
sex with the bull.
Yeah.
She had sex with the bull, and the end result was Asterius,
Minotaur.
the Minotaur. But the dude who got cucked by the bull was so embarrassed by it that he basically
Locked him away.
in the center of the labyrinth.
Wow. Rude.
Yeah, Daedalus.
And then David Bowie said, I'll make a movie. Jim Henson,
Yeah.
where are you? Can everyone do David Bowie? Like, I feel like David Bowie's one of those things
Bowie.
that... Yeah, David Bowie.
David
Everyone's
Bowie.
got it.
There's-
John's too focused.
I'll say there's certain situations
very
where someone can do a really good impression that makes all other impressions accessible. So Jermaine Clement basically like unlocked David Bowie for
That
a
I
lot of people.
100% actually mimic Jermaine Clement and not David Bowie when I do it. Like that is literally I'm David Bowie. It's just exactly how he says it.
He figured it out.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I was going to ask John about his Dark Souls speedrun, Demon Souls speedrun stuff, but he's focused. You're focused.
No, I'm good. I'm doing good.
You are doing
I
good.
finally killed the Minotaur.
The bull defeated.
Whoa, he's gonna throw that spear at you.
Don't worry.
It's okay. Take your time.
You're doing great.
Hey, calm down, James. I'm better
I'm
than
just telling you.
doing a great
This is
job.
the end. This is the run ender. This fight.
Apparently.
So you're on the Souls train.
He's never
Soul
beat
train.
it before. Ooh.
So I've been I sped brands Dark Souls for the first time on Saturday. Took me 8.5 hours. It's a
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
What the fuck is that?
He calls on the power of a god.
So I should be clear, in Dark Souls, there is
You know what, John? Why don't you take care of this?
Okay.
And then while you're doing that, we'll hear a word from our sponsor. We'll get right back to you. Breaking up with your old wireless provider just got a whole lot easier thanks to the one and only Mint Mobile. They were the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, and now Mint Mobile is introducing their unlimited data plan for just $30 a month. Let that sink in for a minute. That's unlimited data for $30. How much is your soon-to-be ex-wireless provider charging you? I can tell you from our own John Smith, he switched to Mint Mobile and ended up saving $75 a month, and his wireless quality didn't change at all. It's great for him. If you're ready to switch to a different, provider, Mint Mobile offers premium unlimited plans for just $30, as I mentioned. You can go online only and eliminate the traditional costs of retail, and then Mint Mobile will pass those savings on to you. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with Mint Mobile and keep your same phone number along with any existing contacts, so no messy transition between phones. And if you're not 100% satisfied, Mint Mobile has you covered with their 7-day money-back guarantee. You can break up with Big Wireless and switch to Mint Mobile's premium unlimited data plan for $30 a month. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $30, as I said, and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/dude. That's mintmobile.com/dude. cut that wireless bill, baby. $30 a month, mintmobile.com/dude.
Last Death
Thank you.
Defy. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you to our sponsor. I bet John's already beaten this boss by now.
No, he's still going.
I had to start
Close,
all over
though.
again, actually. Just right from the beginning of the run. Oh, bud.
Close.
Oh, bud. Oh,
Play
bud.
it cool. Play it safe.
Is it secret? Is it
Oh, you
safe?
got another Death Defied.
So yeah, you were playing all of Dark Souls. How long did that take you?
So, in Dark Souls speedrunning community, I did it for the first time ever.
Nice job.
Talking about Hades, but also speedrun. In Dark Souls speedrunning community, there's no glitchless category, which I agree with because glitchless is a shit category that doesn't belong in speedrunning.
Wow,
but
okay.
This
for
is like the
me-
third time I've heard you have this rant. He's very passionate about
And
it
the
is
venom
my
in his
number
voice.
one, I'll die on this hill.
It's stupid, and I would like it to fuck off, is basically your stance
Yeah.
on glitchless.
So, but for me, just starting out, I still haven't mastered all the bosses. I still haven't mastered the game. So I'm starting with just beating it over and over and over again. That's going to be my current goal, is to minimize the amount of time it takes me to just beat the game. You know, without doing any skips, without doing any glitches or stuff, just play through the game in one sitting. So that's why I started. I think I'm going to do it every Saturday. Not sure. I'm considering.
Meaning you're going to finish Dark Souls once every Saturday?
Yes.
Wow. Big gamer
Well,
plays over here.
That's impressive.
This time it took me 8.5 hours, but I have a feeling I could get it down to like 5 or 6. So,
What's the current speedrun record?
the current speedrun record, I think for any percent is like 26 minutes or something like that. And then
Oh my
for all
gosh.
bosses, it's like an hour and 3 minutes. Catalyst actually just beat it like a week ago.
Wow.
The 5 hours, you think?
yeah.
Yeah, I think I could do it 5 hours. I think.
That would
Including
be-
glitches, right?
Admirable.
What?
That is with glitches.
That is
Or-
with a bunch of glitches. They do this. My favorite glitch is where they basically do a parry riposte on stairs. I don't know if you guys know about Dark Souls.
I
but
saw the
basically-
video of you doing this, yeah.
Yeah. And what it does is it fucks up the camera, and then it locks you in like the death cam state where the camera's above you, and because of that, wherever you go, it doesn't load new assets. So you can basically do that and then run through Sen's gate to get inside Sen's fortress, and then you save and quit. Elise, you know what I'm
So
saying?
that's,
Gate.
that's all I need to do.
Sense Gate. That's what. That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's her
All I
favorite
know
part.
is Auric and Crake, or whatever those two guys are called. I always forget.
Oh, those
Yeah,
guys at
you
the
do.
end?
Yeah, that's correct. That's right. Ornstein and
And
Smaug.
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 But I knew who you were talking about. I was like,
Oryx and Craig is the Margaret Atwood book, I think.
But yeah, it's something I've never done before. I mean, I guess a while back I was speedrunning the demo of Ghost Runner because that was like 3.5 minutes long.
Which wasn't there just an update? I think.
Was there?
Was
I
it?
think so.
To Ghost Runner?
Go tell John. He's already got his Saturdays
I
occupied.
saw something about Ghost Runner.
Well, Ghost
recently.
Runner, the full game is releasing on the 27th.
yeah, pretty
The
soon.
day after Twice's second album release, which I'm also excited for. It's gonna
Wow.
be a big week.
It's like your
Big
birthday.
month for you, John.
yeah,
Because you're a big once, right?
I'm number one once.
John recently explained to me that Twice's fans are called once.
Once.
And I love that.
Are they really?
Love that.
What does that mean?
No, not my dog.
I can't even think of a response to that. Just one time. Nope. Look at him. Can you pat him here?
No.
No, he's blocking your way. John
Also-
has reached the bridge of sticks, and
Those are buns.
Cerberus is blocking his path like a good
job.
boy.
Big job.
Cerberus is a good boy.
You can't pat Cerberus. Just not here. Devastating. The goodest
What
boy.
have you been playing, Alanah?
So yeah, I've also been playing a lot of Phasmophobia. Because I have the Xbox Series X, I've just been honestly like really jumping between different games to like check that out. So yesterday I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 to check the load times and like how everything runs and all that stuff, and it is beautiful. Load times have got to be like a third, maybe a quarter. Like it's so much faster. Gears 5 just most recently got an optimization update, so yeah, that's like multiplayer 120 4K, like just like ridiculously beautiful. I played Fable
wow.
Anniversary. Just like I'm really jumping between a lot of stuff, but I've actually started playing A Plague Tale.
Nice.
It's so good.
It's genuinely really good. Because I think that, like, I knew you guys were playing it, but I think that genuinely my assumption was that because Funhaus was playing A Plague Tale, it's bad. I was like, it's probably a bad game, and that's why they've chosen to play it. And it's like the joke you were making about, like, how many views did it have to get? See, 1 million or something?
A million.
I think half a million?
I think
Play
Bruce
part
said it had
two.
to get 1 million views or something.
But this is what happens when there are games that I'm genuinely interested in that I bring, is that they just get mocked because of the origin. Like, for example, in 2016, we did our Game of the Year games, and mine was Ori and the Blind Forest.
Great game.
And everybody ripped on me. Everyone ripped on me so much for Ori and the Blind Forest being my Game of the Year. Like, Bruce, I think, was like, oh, she likes it because it's got orbs in it. So, of course, like Plague Tale, stuff like Owl Boy, you know, anything I virtually mention.
Anything
just
that's delightful, you are immediately ripped
Well, Plague
down.
Tale's pretty
for-
dark.
Not
too.
I mean,
delightful.
Plague Tale is doesn't fall into that category, but I think it was the kind of thing where it was, because it's weird. It feels like a AAA game in some capacities. Like,
With
it's
some
graphically,
indie
the presentation is really good, but the fact that it's kind of like under the radar means you assume it can't be. It's like, because that's what we've been taught by video games marketing in a lot of ways. And I think that's what Bruce honed in on, was that this can't be good. But then if you actually go watch that gameplay, it's the game being pretty good, and but then still trying to find a way to be like, hey, how do we rip into this game?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it was funny because they were anywhere else in the industry, these were lauded, you know, critically acclaimed games.
Yeah.
Yeah, people seem to really like it. And again, like, it wasn't because you brought it, at least. Like, I just assumed that because Funhaus was repeatedly playing
Fair.
A Plague Tale, that it must have been bad so they could make jokes about it. I was like, this game must suck. And then someone was like, if you played A Plague Tale, you'd really like it. And I was like, what, like, genuinely? And so now I'm playing it, and I'm like, oh, this game's actually very good.
Yes.
Would have been hard to make fun of that one. It's like, it's great.
I think it was mostly making fun of me. And that's how it worked.
Yeah,
You know,
It's backwards compatible on X and very pretty. Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
nice.
Bruce
I'll
has
get
been
it
wrong
there.
about a lot of stuff because he hated. I can't even remember the name.
He plays Fall Guys with a mouse
he
and
hated
keyboard.
Alita Battle Angel, which was the best movie of 2019.
But John, you also felt like, I remember you telling me that you thought Alita was like a feminist triumph, and I was like, what? There are so many glorifying shots of her and shit.
She was made to have sex with the guy that looks like the director.
Wait, isn't she like a child?
She's also very infantilized. In
Well,
her
it's
appearance.
the
Listen.
trope. It's the
I
born
was
hot
saying,
yesterday.
this is what the star said, is that there aren't a lot of powerful Latina protagonists. Or I guess Latinx.
True.
And that was what I was saying, was that it's a strong, powerful woman, just like
That I
Wonder
agree
Woman.
with.
And, you know, they're not all going to be, you know, non-sexualizing. But it's a powerful woman, and it was a, you know, it was a teen-angled movie. So it's, you know,
That's
these
fair.
young girls grown up going, I can be a fucking battle angel. That was what
Except
I
she's-
liked. That was what I liked.
Except she's built that way too. It's a weird situation, kind of like the new Mulan, where a good story is showing how someone can overcome and become better and stronger, and despite what everyone tells them they are, they show that they're something else, as opposed to maybe Alita and Mulan, where it's like, you built magic. Everyone else like you that looks like you, they do belong where they're at.
I want the Alita sequel, though.
Yeah,
Me
I just
too.
want to see more. I just want to see more of Edward Norton, who's in the movie for 2.5 seconds.
It's that movie was successful, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Not
What is
enough,
success?
I don't think. I don't think it was.
To justify
I mean,
it.
because it was in production for 25 years or whatever.
Yeah, I
James
saw it at the
Cameron-
South by Southwest, and that came out like a year later. Like, it was really
Yeah.
strange.
Well, James Cameron made Aliens, and he was like, the next thing I do will be Alita Battle Angel,
Yeah.
and then
Took 30 years.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had
it took-
this preview event where like they showed like a bit of it, and And I was like, oh, surely this is coming out in a month, and it was still forever away. Just like a very weird production cycle for that movie. And I keep wondering what's going to happen now because Black Widow was supposed to be out by now, I think. Just delayed indefinitely, and supposedly the Tenet push to get people back in cinemas did not work. Like at all. No one's really watching that movie. I think Omar maybe saw it.
One of
He
the
did, yeah.
Disney like executives was saying, "You gotta release it on Disney Plus."
They got to release Tenet on Disney Plus,
Jack
the Warner Brothers
Nicholson,
movie.
Disney
no, Black
executive
Widow.
here.
Oh, Black Widow.
My expectation was that if Mulan performed to a certain point, that Disney would release Black Widow on, especially over the Thanksgiving weekend. I was like, oh, so many families getting together watching Black Widow. But I guess I feel like Mulan didn't hit the way they wanted it to. This is going to be the first year in forever that a Marvel movie isn't like the top box office.
And it's going to be the first year in forever that Charlie Brown Pumpkin Halloween isn't going to be on
It's going to be
television
on Apple Plus.
in 50 years because Apple Plus has the rights.
Those
The cost of streaming, folks.
frickers.
We need a positive thing here.
Sorry.
So we're going to take a word from our sponsor right now. Right now, you can continue supporting all those great restaurants in your community safely. Thousands of them that are available for delivery on DoorDash. They need your patronage now more than ever. And you've counted on them in the past. I know I have. Okay, and so they're counting on you now. While dining rooms are closed, everyone's still open for delivery with DoorDash. It's the app that brings you food you're craving right now to your door. Ordering is so easy. You just open the DoorDash app, choose what you want to eat, and your food will be left safely outside your door with the new contactless delivery drop-off setting. I use the contactless delivery. I've had no problemos. There are over 300,000 partners in the U.S., Puerto Rico, Canada, Australia. You can support your local go-tos or choose from your favorite restaurants like Chipotle, Wendy's, the Cheesecake Factory. You know what I'm saying? Many of your favorite local restaurants are still open, so please eat local too. Right now, our listeners can get $5 off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code DUDESOUP. That's $5 off your order and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code DUDESOUP. Don't forget, I know you won't, because you're probably opening the app right now and you're ordering, but that's code DUDESOUP for $5 off your first order with DoorDash. Thank you, DoorDash. Are you doing the Charlie Brown?
It's Charlie Brown. That's how Charlie Brown
okay, it
sounds.
is. Okay, yeah, got it.
You ever think about the fact that you're probably older than Charlie Brown's parents?
Yikes.
That's just a
God.
thought. That's a thought. Which means that your warbled talk is even worse than theirs. Because as you age, it gets worse. That's it.
John
That's my
also
piece.
sounded a little bit like a goose. Which we
goose?
played James and I played the Untitled Goose Game co-op recently. And it was very fun.
It was.
I liked it when the original release, but honestly, playing locally, doing that goose co-op and getting up to shenanigans and hijinks with someone else is great.
Yeah, is it online co-op or is it only local co-op? I think you
might
might have
have
to do it by a share play. I'm not sure.
It might have online, but we definitely did it.
We did a
local.
local, yeah. It's good because it reminded me of, I don't know if you ever played Guacamelee or what's the other one from the
Battle Block Theater?
Yeah, Battle Block Theater. Like those games are so fun with 2 people because you can like take risks with one person and the other person's the anchor.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're playing the game alone, it's just like a high risk scenario. It's like, can I make this jump or whatever?
There are definitely moments where you're like, I'm gonna go be a goose over here. You do what you gotta do.
You cause mischief, I'm going to hide here just in case you get kicked out of the room or whatever. We won't lose all of our progress.
It's such a great update to what was already a fantastic game. It rules.
Yeah.
All
Shout out to
games should
Australia.
add local co-op to it. There, I said it. I'm brave
How
enough.
brave.
I feel
any
like
other
Hades co-op
games?
would be sweet.
Oh, Hades co-op, yeah.
Well, you gave us the prompt, Elise, of like a lesser known horror game that I could recommend. And
Oh yeah.
So
Please.
because he like explicitly said obscure, I had to think about it pretty hard, and I wanted to recommend this game called Echo, which was on PS4 and PC, but did not was critically rated quite well, but really didn't perform very well. Like, not many people
You
know
mean
what
the
it
dolphin?
is. Not the dolphin.
Oh.
But it's not really a horror game. It's more of a thriller, but because it's a stealth game by genre, I tend to get scared in stealth games all the time anyway. But it's not
That's how I
really a
feel.
horror. Yeah, I'm like, and it basically, you're inside of this planet that is also a machine called the Palace, and
Okay.
the Palace every 5 minutes has a blackout. So literally over and over every 5 minutes blacks out. And the way that it works is that the Palace, being that you're like the only thing alive inside of it, is trying to replicate you because that's all its AI knows how to do. So as you're on like the top layer of this palace you're trying to get deeper inside of, there are basically these dummies that are trying to mimic you, and their face like kind of looks like your character's face. And as you get further, they start mimicking you better and better and better, and just like looking more and more like you because it's learning how you function.
Creepy.
It's creepy.
But it resets every 5 minutes. So what you do in a 5-minute chunk after the blackout, the AI will then know how to do for the next 5 minutes, and it will reset
No.
every time. So
I don't like that. And I just looked at the art, and it's very sterile.
it's super sterile.
looking.
Yeah, I mean, it changes as you go through the palace. Like, things get different or get more elaborate. But basically, in one round, if you want to pick up a gun and shoot it, that means that once the blackout has happened, they will be able to shoot you, and you'll pretty much be
God.
screwed. But if you were to pace it apart and be like, in this 5-minute period, I'm going to pick up a gun. In this next 5-minute period, I'm going to shoot a gun. If you never teach the AI how to pick the gun up, they can't shoot the gun because they don't know how to pick the gun up. So you have to, everything you do, they will copy, meaning that sometimes you
like
need
an
them.
echo.
Like an echo. Sometimes you need them to copy things, like if you need to connect a bridge or something, like a puzzle like that, and there's one that you can't reach, you will have to connect a bridge on your end and then wait for the blackout, and then they will do it on the other end. So, but there's only a
Gotcha.
certain limit of the amount of things you can teach them in a certain round as well. So it's just this matter of like, these things that are trying to attack you based on what you're doing 5 minutes prior every time throughout the whole game, that I think is like such a cool concept, really interesting puzzle, but also it does manage to be really creepy and have what I think is like pretty cool lore. It just really never took off, and I don't even entirely know why. I think it's maybe because it's one of those types of games that is better in theory for a lot of people than it is to play, because that 5-minute cycle probably is tedious for a lot of people. But I was really impressed by it, and definitely did find it unsettling. And I'm like, if you want to pick up a lesser known game that is still like very polished and has a very unique concept, I would definitely recommend Echo as something that is for sure a little bit creepy.
That sounds
Real
great.
quick,
I had
here's my
never heard of
girlfriend.
that.
All right,
Yeah,
continue.
Aphrodite.
Go on.
Now, just to describe her for the audio listeners, she's very pink.
She's very pink. She's naked, but she has strands of hair that covers her nipple
Very
and butt
convenient.
crack. So
Time for a haircut.
there's also Eurydice. Eurydice's really hot. I mean, they're all hot, but like, you know, there's a lot of.
Yeah, I think oh my Z over here is hot too. A protagonist.
No, he's hot.
He's hot.
Go get Aphrodite's aid. You can charm them. They'll work for you, John.
Yes.
Even it works on the bosses.
That does sound really. I don't remember this game being a thing.
No, I don't know
especially
why.
on
Just
consoles.
nobody heard of it. Yeah, it came to PS4 for sure. Maybe 2016 or something. See, if I search Echo, it doesn't even come up. You have to go Echo game, and it came out in 2017. Developer is
Wow.
Ultra, and I believe, if I remember correctly, it was their only game, and they immediately shut down after the game was made.
No.
Oh,
Man.
Ambition not rewarded.
John, do you have a recommendation that has a happier ending?
yes. And my recommendation is also, not specifically horror.
He's learning.
It's not specifically horror, but it is a game that can be very scary because of how weak you are. It is a game called Rain World, and it's where you play as a little, I forget what they call it. It's like cat bunny or cat snake or something. And what I loved about it is that it was made by two people who weren't programmers or game developers. It was made by an artist and a musician, I think. And the musician learned how to code, and the artist just did all the art for it. And basically what they did was they created a functioning ecosystem. So all of the enemies, well, all of the creatures, they're not even your enemies technically. They're just creatures that all have different needs and wants and have to hunt and eat and everything like that. and it's awesome. And it's cat slug. You're just this little cat slug in the middle of it trying to traverse this place because you get separated from your family. And so there are all these big lizards that the moment you see them, you're like, ah, shit. And you run, but if they see you, they'll chase you through all the different rooms and everything, so you have to evade them. And it's so scary, but eventually you may learn to conquer them. And there's a giant bird. So you're constantly you're so small that you're just being hunted by everything. Well, you hunt things, you eat little bugs, but then you're also being hunted by everything, and it's really interesting. And it's a fun platformer. It's got a great style. I really, really enjoyed it.
A lot of cool environmental puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
the part of what does make that game a little bit scary, you're right, is that you just feel you're so weak. It's like an Ori situation where you're just this cute little thing that you're like, no, I don't want to let you down, bud. I'm so sorry. Yeah, really pretty game.
I'm scared for you.
Yeah.
I'm scared for you.
What about you?
So I'm gonna recommend this purely based off what I've seen because I haven't played it because it looks really scary. But I'm constantly, just for work and stuff, digging around on Steam to try and find potential games, searching in genres and stuff. And we were playing a lot of Halloween stuff. I was like, oh, Halloween stuff. But one game that always keeps popping up is World of Horror, which I haven't played, but it appears to be like a classic throwback adventure game where you like almost like a text-based RPG, but it has imagery. But the imagery is all black and white, high contrast, and it looks like Junji Ito. And I guess it has a very similar. I guess it takes a lot of influence from that because it's about a town, and the more you explore the town, the more the town degrades and like falls apart, and the people there like go crazy and weird and stuff like that. And it has just on Steam alone, the imagery for some of the stuff is like really creepy, and so. I'm going to recommend that, having not played it because I'm too cowardly. But it definitely looks, I read reviews as well, and people seem to support that it does definitely have a creepo vibe, and might be a fun thing to play on a lonely, dark Halloween night.
Looks really cool. Is it currently in early access, or is it already out?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I know it's on Steam. Like, I mean, you can buy it. At this point,
like
I don't know
it came
what
out
early access means.
February, maybe?
But yeah.
Very cool. I'm into the design of this for sure. This is awesome.
That made me think of, I can't think of it, but there's a text-based horror game that, like, going into playing, Stories Untold, which I think it's 3 different text-based horror games. And going into play the first one, I was like, this isn't going to be scary, but it definitely did creep me out quite a bit. I played it, at night, and it did kind of give me the willies. My recommendation was just going to be a game that maybe you've heard of, but I'm still going to push it because I feel like it might be outside of some people's typical genres, so you don't necessarily gravitate toward it. But Oxenfree is just always to me so great because the atmosphere is what sells that game. I mean, I like the story and the characters a lot, but that game in a very kind of simple mechanic and art style is able to really, really sell atmosphere, which I thought was super impressive.
Hangman part of that game straight up gave me chills.
Oh, yeah.
Super creepy.
You've never played Hangman before?
It's a very particular beat in that story that's just so unsettling and like... Yeah, creepy. I love Oxenfree, and the soundtrack for that game is incredible as well. I feel like I still frequently listen to it.
Yeah, perfect for this time of year too. And it's on so many platforms if you want to just curl up in bed on your Switch and play it. Yeah, it's a good one.
I'm more of a fan of from that same developer. What's it called? After Party?
Oh, After Party.
It's just got incredible voice acting.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
Alanah, he doesn't know. He's just he doesn't realize he's kissing up.
I was technically doing a British accent, so you could mistake it for someone else. I get it. It makes sense.
And John did.
Hello, it's me.
That's what I sound like. You're After Party. They're a really great team.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining for this Dude Soup. We've got Phasmophobia coming to the channel this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope you're enjoying this Halloween season.
Yeah. Hanging in there
Sorry.
despite not being able to go out and trick or treat. Don't go out and trick or treat, by the way. It's not safe.
Don't do it.
Not
Stay
even
in.
with the candy shoots that everyone's doing.
Order 24 cookies,
Roses.
variety cookies to your home, wherever it may be. That's what I'm going to be doing for Halloween.
You're going to be eating 24 cookies in one night?
Spooky.
Well, thanks, Alanah. Thanks, John.
For sure.
Thanks, James.
Thanks for letting me play video
Thank-
game.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
That's nice.
Congrats,
We
good
should go
job.
back to this always.
And thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.